What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the 40K Cafe. And one thing that I've always loved about the universe of 40K is the description and perception of how one may perceive demons. You see, we as readers obviously get to perceive the fictional universe as something entirely different, looking at the designs and creatures of the Immaterium for what they quote-unquote are. For us, we read in the novels or maybe in the codexes the description of a bird or avian-like creature, understanding almost immediately what realm and god it may come from, and also knowing that this is clearly a Lord of Change. Or maybe a new mini will be announced and we will see a great unclean one with all of its gaseous pustules and bloated corpse walking around with its festering disease and illness. But again, we know what this is. Or let's take it even a step down and we look at the Slaughterkin, or better known as the Blood Letters of Khorne. We as the readers and or fans see them with the red skins that they have, the horns above their crowns, and the misshapen skulls that make up their head. The point that I'm getting at is we understand this, but in the universe of 40K, the average individual looks at demons entirely differently, as well as sees them entirely differently if they're even able to. A standard human or individual may look upon a demon and their whole entire mind may melt, or at the very least, their sanity can shatter and break. For the humans in 40K, there is no in reality when it comes to demons. These are creatures of the immaterium, non-real space. These are creatures made of warp energies beyond our imagination. They take a quote-unquote physical form in material space to whatever our mind may try to rationalize what they may be. For us, when we see their descriptions written out in the books, we understand what kind of demon that is, but for the standard human, this is just an ever-changing figure. Where we may see a daemonette of Slaanesh, the individual in the setting may see something else, a shadowy, milky figure struggling to retain their presence in real space. Laws of physics do not apply the same way to these creatures as we know them. Whenever they appear, we as readers are made known that the physical area around them warps and bends. Distortion of real space occurs rampant around them. And from what we see of them in real space is just the warp being made manifest to their innate nature. And I personally think that this is something that adds to the horrifying nature of demons in the universe of 40K. The sheer irrationale with one appearing not being able to make out necessarily what it is, or even just the physical real space around you warping to the appearance, it is no wonder that sometimes we see the average individual with their mind shattered. Even those humans with the strongest will and mental fortitude, after seeing one, sometimes still can't fully comprehend what has happened. They simply acknowledge that it is a demon. And I truthfully get it, for how else is somebody supposed to cope with something that the mind is unable to truly grasp and make sense of? And it makes sense considering these creatures come from the warp or the immaterium, the non-real, the non-existent, adding to the fact that the horrors of the universe of 40K come from the real space and unreal alike. But let me know what you guys think. I personally just thought that this was cool and wanted to share it with you all. Thanks as always, guys, for listening, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Drop a comment if there's anything you guys want to hear about next, and as always, remember to follow for more.